Hi, I'm Kerry with the UNC Wellness Centers, and for Wellness Wednesday, I'm bringing you a short clip on how you can relieve some of your muscle tension with either a trigger ball or a tennis ball. So a lot of us don't have trigger balls, but tennis balls work just as well. So if you can find yourself an old tennis ball, you can do this as well. And we're going to focus on relieving 3 points of tension, one in our feet, one in our chest, a lot of hunched forward work we might be doing, and one to relieve the trapezius, or those shoulder muscles up high coming over the top. So let's start with your feet. If we can relieve tension in our feet, that often releases trigger points all the way through the body. And there's 2 ways to do it. First of all, you want to be barefoot. And you can do it sitting. I'm going to take that ball right under my right arch. And in order to get more pressure on that ball, I'm going to lean forward. And I'm going to roll that ball up and down the center of my foot, and up and down on the inside of your foot, and up and down on the outside of your foot. I'm going to move pretty quickly through these, but when you do this, take as much time as you want. You could also pivot your foot, so when you find a spot that's a little bit sore, go ahead and turn your foot and your knee right to left like you're grinding down. Roll it up into the base of your toes and try to spread your toes over that. Another option is to do the same thing standing. So if you want to hold on to the wall, you can get maybe a little bit more pressure, downward pressure, if you're standing. So you could stand and do all these things too. And once you start, you'll know like, oh, this part of my foot is sore, and you want to try and stay there for 3 breaths and let that tension release before you move on up and down to another spot. So that's our first spot. The second spot we're going to do is to open up our chest and relieve some tension in the pectoral muscles. And I like to do this one lying down on the side of a bed if you're at home, but you can also just do it lying down on the floor or even sitting. So ideally, if you're at home, lie down on the side of your bed. Open up one arm off the side. Take the trigger ball as if you're going to do a Pledge of Allegiance, right? So I have it in my right hand. I'm coming across to my left, right in the center of my left pec, and I'm going to roll on a diagonal line up to my armpit and then down towards the center of my chest, just kind of up and down here in a diagonal line. And you could go a little bit higher towards your chin and maybe a little bit lower, and you'll find a spot that's more sensitive. So make sure you're moving slowly, only moving about 1 inch per second, so it's nice and slow. When you get to a spot that's sore, go ahead and make little circles as you're pressing down and relieve the tension there. And then find a new spot. Just kind of work your way up and down your chest. And then don't forget to turn around and do the other side. So of course, if you don't have the opportunity to lie down, you could certainly just do it sitting, pressing here, or lying down on the floor. So those are options. And then we're going to try and relieve the tension in the back of our shoulders and our upper back. So for this one, I'm going to come down to the floor and show you how to do it on the floor. But you could basically take the same thing to a wall, and I'll show you that also, so that if you're at work and you just have a moment, but you have your tennis ball, you can do that. I'm going to put that ball just to the side of my spine and the top of my shoulder blade, trying to get into a spot where I can lift my hips and push with my heels and kind of wiggle back a little bit until I find a spot. So I'm kind of trying to get in the groove between my shoulder blade and my spine, and then I'm going to push and pull with my heels. And when I get to a spot that feels a little bit tense, I can just relax down, drop my hips, just stay here for 3 breaths before you move on. You could also rock side to side on a spot, and maybe at the same time as you're rocking side to side, you're kind of moving your head backwards as the ball will come down your spine. You just want to make sure that you're staying to the side of the spine and not pushing on those vertebrae. And then I could pull my hips down and the ball comes up higher, and I can get way up high to kind of the top edge just as it's coming over my shoulder, and I could actually rock side to side here and relieve tension in a different area. And then of course, you want to make sure you do the other side as well. Turning your head side to side while you relax down on the ball will also help relieve some tension. And if you can't lie down, then you could find a wall. And same idea, you're going to put that ball, bend your knees so you start low, put your bottom against the wall, put that ball between your wall and and that groove between your shoulder blade and your spine, and then start to stand up. And the ball will roll down and then sit back down and the ball will roll up. So this is another alternative. If you can find just a closed door or a wall, but you don't have the opportunity to lie down, you can certainly do some muscle tension and trigger release right here. So folks, I know we're not having the opportunities to get massage. We would all really benefit from that right now. But hopefully this will help you relieve some tension in your day. Stay healthy, folks. Thanks for watching.